Let me tell you a story. A true story. My story. Under the yoke of enslavement, colonial domination, poverty, and racism, the pride and industry of a people was born. The epitome of human capitalist greed and disregard for human life. The Transatlantic Slave Trade. The trafficking of black bodies. Black human bodies. Laid the foundation for the creation of black peoples in the Americas. Europeans perfected a system of ideological genocide. They destroyed the self, the being, and the existence of the quote-unquote African, and created its new being as property. It was a legalized system needed not for the survival and welfare of European societies, but to provide a luxury for those ignorant to its origins and amass wealth for the few. Shielded a continent away from the brutality that they created. The slave trade was designed to exploit and to profit. It was not a symbiotic relationship. Africans, quote unquote Africans, now enslaved in the Americas, did not enter into a binding employment contract with paid wages and benefits. Phenotypic terrorists broke, castrated, and raped their bodies, and attempted to destroy their existence. The institution of slavery, enslavement, was a calculated act of terrorism against humanity and human dignity. The 17th, 18th, and early 19th century Canada, the United States, the West Indies, the broader Caribbean, and the Americas as a whole were not the epitome of democratic freedoms that they are perceived to be now, but a theater of war where the enemy disguised itself under a cloak of lies, greed, and violence. Men and women engage in the trafficking of human flesh as the insidious ideology of race was created to justify the unjustifiable. To be of a darker skin tone meant enslavement. However, the masters perverted the binary color stratification once the derivatives of sexual terror compelled them to enslave their own. Fathers raped mothers and whipped daughters. Husbands were emasculated as wives were raped and brutalized. Mothers cried as their sons died slow, painful deaths. Welcome to my history. Welcome to my story. Welcome to a chapter of my journey that I've marked on my body to always remember, learn from, grow from, identify with what my people have gone through, what my ancestors have gone through. This is not a fictional story. This is not something we read in history books. This is not something that we can just wash off at the end of the day. This is tattooed on me, on my consciousness, on my existence. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the journey that my family has taken from the west coast of the African continent to the slave dungeons on the Cape Coast, to the Middle Passage, to the pride and industry of being Barbadians, to the journey and the road that they took following the waves and the tide of the Atlantic, to the UK, to Canada, to become flying fish in the Great White North. I am proud to be. They survived by any means necessary.